All right. So let's get started with this right here. All right. So if all right, so if I'm going to solve the first one, all right, Jack, what am I doing when I solve this? Find what the letter is. I want to get the letter by itself. Okay. So if this is a minus 12, what's the opposite of minus 12? Plus 12. So we're going to go ahead and do the plus 12 from both sides. Okay. Now, I have noticed that some people tend to do a little bit better when they draw a vertical line through this. Okay. Because it visually helps us to see that the idea is to move everything away from wherever this variable is. Okay? So then I have a negative 12 plus 12. That cancels. And so B equals negative 12. Okay? Same thing over here. What am I going to do here? Huh? Subtract negative 10. I don't disagree with you there, but I don't think you're saying it right. Okay? Aiden, what's the operation here? Negative 10. What's the opposite of negative 10? 10. So plus 10. Okay? Plus 10 to both sides. When you said minus a negative is really positive. So you were saying the right thing, but I don't think you knew that you were saying the right thing. Okay? So we go ahead and eliminate these. B is now by itself. And what's negative 7 plus 10? Huh? 3. Okay? Now, here's what I want you guys to do. You guys need to be very careful about how many times somebody has told you before in the past you can use a calculator for this. Okay? You can. But oftentimes we trust the calculator a lot more than what we trust up here, and sometimes you even know that the answer is wrong. But you just go with whatever the calculator says. All right? But again, it's kind of easy stuff in the sense that if you owe me $7 and you pay me $10, you overpaid me $3. Okay? All right, let's look at this. What operation is being used here? Division. Okay? So, Elizabeth, what's the opposite of division? What am I going to do to both sides? Times 3. Very good. I'll multiply 3 to both sides. All right. Then my 3's are eliminated, and n equals what? 12. Good. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. You're going to get a sheet of paper out, and you're going to try these 3 problems, and then we're going to go over them in just a second. All right, Jaden, what did you get for the first one? How did you solve it, first of all? Okay, so you went ahead and put the line down the middle. Okay, I'm good with that. So let's draw that down. All right, and then what? All right, good. Now see, we're used to seeing the variable on the other side. So this one kind of may throw us off. That's why the line actually works out pretty good. Because then we can say, okay, well this is the guy that has to move. So I'm going to do the opposite of this. And so what's negative 1 plus 14? 13. Dennis, what'd you do over here? What'd you do over here? Not 8? Well, okay. So you multiply both sides by 12, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Because this is division. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 12. All right, so these 12s are going to cancel. And n equals, let's see, 2 times 18, 216. 216. Is that correct? No, it's not. It's not right. Huh? Ah, negative. Okay, good. Make sure you capture that sign, okay? You may have had it right. I was just trying to kind of throw everybody off under here. So negative 18 times positive 12 gives me negative 216. All right. The last one. Anybody? What do we do? Huh? Go ahead. Tell me. That's right. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. All right. So x equals 17. Good. Any questions here? Good. All right. 2 steps. So how many actions are taken to get to the finish? 2. Okay. So I need to go ahead and get this r by itself. Okay. So again, let's just go ahead and draw the line here just to kind of get an idea of how, who, what we're going to end up having to move in order to be able to get this done. All right. So what's my variable? R. Okay. That's an R. All right. So what am I going to move first? The 3 or the 16? Because those both have to go. I wouldn't do that yet. Let's get rid of this, because if I multiply by 16, I got to multiply that by 16 and this by 16. Let's get rid of this 3 first. All right, so we're going to subtract the 3 to both sides. All right, so now we have r over 16 equals, what's 2 minus 3? Negative 1. Now, this is going to be a little bit easier for me to go and multiply 16. All right, so we will multiply both sides by 16. And so r equals, that's correct. All right, you guys do the next one. All right, a smart one. Fine.
So basically, you subtract the 3 and 5, but you get negative 2.
What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna subtract 3? Why would I subtract 3?
No,
I'm gonna subtract what?
5.
That's not what you said. You said subtract 3.
Oh, you let me finish.
Well, you started off wrong. Why would I?
I don't know.
All right, so let's try it again.
So
Smarty pants, what do I do?
So you subtract 5.
Why?
You get rid of it.
Why don't I just add 5?
Add 5. Never mind. I don't think I got the right answer.
Why can't I just add 5 to both sides? You guys tell me.
I'm not smart. I can't figure out that.
Hang on. Time out. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying that unless you can tell me why you have to subtract 5, then you don't know why you subtracted 5.
No, 5 minus 3. No, 3 minus 3.
Listen to me. Stop. What operates, is that a positive or a negative 5? It's a positive 5. Okay? What's the opposite of positive 5? That's why you subtract it. Okay? Because you're doing the opposite of what this is. So you subtract the 5 from both sides so that this goes away. That's like you if you laughing. And then 3 minus 5 is going to be what?
Negative 2.
Negative 2.
I thought it was doing something cool.
Now, what's the next thing that you did? Why? Huh?
Those are the only numbers left?
No. Tell me again. Why don't you just multiply negative 2 to both sides? This is a positive 9. Why can't I just subtract it? What operation is this?
Division.
What's the opposite of division? What are you going to multiply both sides by? Here you go. Why do you multiply both sides by 9? Because it gets rid of them. So that the r, which is what you're looking for, is by itself. And we get 7. Right? No. God, man, this is awful. Hi, -18.
I knew it.
I thought I knew where bottom was with you, but I haven't gotten there yet. All right. Next ones. Try them. We're just going to go step by step here. What's that operation? Division. What's the opposite of division? What do I multiply both sides by? 2. Okay, good. So, Jack, what's -4 times 2? -8. These cancel. And we have b plus 5. Okay? Now again, two-step equations. We just did one of the steps. How many more steps do I have to go before I'm done? 1. This is a plus 5. What do we do to both sides? That's right. Okay? So now I eliminate this, and b equals what? Huh? -13. Okay? -13. All right, finally, Elizabeth, what do we do here first? Subtract the 9. All right, so 6x equals 12. Perfect. Divide the 6. Perfect. Okay?
I have a question. Does it matter if you make it 21 minus 9?
So let's do that for a second because that's a really good question. All right? We're gonna work this out. All right, so the question was, what happens if I do this? Okay? So now we're down to 6x minus 12 equals 0.
Oh, no, I still not.
Because you got lucky. Okay? But that didn't help me at all. Okay? And this is kind of where the line that Jaden was using actually kind of works. Because if I go ahead and I put that line there, and if you go back to the idea that I have to be able to get this x by itself, and I got to get everything else away from it, there's no reason to move this guy over. That just complicates the issue even more. I know that in order to get this x by itself, he has to go and he has to go. So I'll work first with him. Okay? Because if I don't want to divide 6 by all of this and have to deal with that. Okay, not yet. So if I subtract that 9 first, I have 6x equals 12, and so x equals 2. Okay? So sometimes, especially in the beginning, just that one little line is going to be super helpful for some of us. Try it. Okay? All right. What does it mean when I have these parentheses right here? Anybody know? Huh? Multiplication. Distribute. Okay? You see, inside these parentheses, and we're talking about this, there's two terms. There's an x and a -3. So I will multiply this 4 to the x and to the -3. All right? So -36 equals 4x. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times -3 is -12. All right, you guys solve it from here. -36 equals 4x minus 12. This is our last problem. Well, what did Hope tell you to do first? What did Hope tell you to do first?
Wait. Okay, so you do the line, and you want to get rid of 4.
Okay, so which one do you want to do first?
4.
No. And this is the reason why. If you decide to get rid of this 4 first, what operation is this right here?
No.
It's multiplication. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. That means I got to divide this by 4, this by 4, this by 4. Okay? And that may make it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. Okay? So let's do something else. What do we want to move first? Okay, how do I move that? Very good. And then add the 12. All right, now I have negative 24 equals 4x. Now we divide that. That's going to make this a lot easier. And so x equals 6. Now, guess what? How many steps did it take us to do that problem? 3. You had to distribute, you had to add, you had to divide. Guess what? You just did multi-step. Okay? And all that is a series of 1 steps each time. Okay? So you get to the bottom. All right? Okay, we're done. Your assignment's on CUDA.